people are the best part and sometimes the worst part of a business,
Absolutely.
right? And luckily, Purple has a really good team, and most of that's come from other relationships. We've talked about other people that we mutually know that we brought onto Purple, and the team is what's made it work. That differentiation of the marketing, differentiation of the product, and then a team that the whole team is very passionate about what they're doing. They're excited. Purple has great relationships with Google and Facebook and all these companies that in the past when I was at certain companies I'd say the same thing, but here it's like at a different level where they're giving us assets or they're creating videos for us or giving us access to every alpha and beta program that they do. So the team's excited to be a part of all this great momentum, so we're able to get kind of the best talent in the area. And so that's something that I hope we can keep the momentum so we can keep the great team.
Absolutely. Now, in terms of finding people, I think a lot would gravitate towards you because what you are doing, right? But how do you identify the person who is a good fit for a team? Is it a characteristic or is it a skill set?
Yeah.
Do you have a guiding principle that you follow when you're hiring people?
I don't know if this is the answer that maybe people would expect, but for me, the number one thing is, do I want to work with that person, right? So at some companies I've gone for the angle of I want the best possible talent in this position. And with Purple we have a personality, and we want that personality to be reflected in everything that we do. So I look for personality first. Are they going to be somebody that's fun, that can reflect our brand? Even if they do something technical, sometimes that has an implication on what data they decide to extrapolate from the information that we have impacts how we advertise. So we look for personality, skill set. Almost everybody we've hired, I either knew or one of our leaders knew. So we look for that, that recommendation from people that have worked with them in the past. So kind of adding all those things up, the right personality, obviously they have to have the skill set. And we like people that take risks too. And that's something I haven't been able to do at other companies. Purple's very welcome to taking risks. And so, to win in a really loud space. And I know, before I got involved in mattresses or sleep products, I had no idea how competitive this industry was. And so you have to go for the big wins. And so when you go for big wins, it means you have lots of failures. And so we have videos that I hope no one ever sees. We have other content that I hope nobody ever sees because we ran tests or it just didn't turn out the way that we wanted. And so we try things and we experiment. And so I look for that in the personality of the person that we hire as well.
That's amazing. Yeah. So at 97th Floor, when we hire, we look more for, is this person coachable? It is the personality focus because skills can be trained. You can train on the skills, but obviously work ethic. But I think a lot of people can say one thing in an interview and then ultimately prove
I think
otherwise.
We all do. We all say the other thing.
Absolutely. Best friend. Yeah, we're going to be like, oh, I'm going to tell you what I think you want to hear. But if you're identifying the core of what someone is, are they positive? Are their answers on more reflective of troubleshooting versus I don't know that and then feeling shut down. Yep. We find that we end up attracting the best and retaining the best. Now, in terms of culture for Purple, this, I imagine by getting people that you genuinely like to work with, that's a plus, but how do you retain them and keep them at Purple in a way of lifestyle and...
Yeah, so we have areas to improve there, but we've also done some things right. So some areas to improve, because we're only 2 years old and we grew so fast, we're barely just getting 401k and benefits and all these things that a lot of companies had. The reason people have stayed is because of that momentum, despite not having the obvious things that most companies have. So because of that momentum, because of the excitement, because of having huge partners come in every day and want to do interesting things with us, that's what's kept people, and also that personality and that personal connection. I don't want to sound like Michael Scott, but we are all kind of friends, and we, maybe I am the Michael Scott where I think they're my friends and they're not really, but anyway.
Does Michael Scott ever know he's the Michael Scott?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so
I don't think so.
You might be the Michael Scott, yeah.
That hurts.
Just to say, own it, but
yeah.
it would hurt.
But no, I think it's the, the unity of doing something really unique together. I mean, Utah hasn't had many companies grow this fast, and so a lot of the team members, the minute it took off, were getting recruited like crazy, and multiple people on the team have passed on offers that were 3x what they're making because they want to be a part of the journey.
Yeah, it's that ground level that you get to see something that ultimately will become the next. I mean, Amazon started like really small. I mean, we think of Google, it started out of a garage. I mean, there's always, you're hoping to be part of that next iteration. So
yeah. I'm not claiming we'll be any of those companies.
No pressure, but I'm expecting to see the next Google campus here in Utah.